Hey, Anxious Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. Guess what? Fair weeks are over, and I've had a week to relax. Not really, it was homecoming week, so it still made it pretty wild. So I'm out in our research greenhouse, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about some research projects that are going on with some of my students and with some petunias. This has kind of turned into the petunia channel, which I never really intended, but hey, here we are. So what we have going is we've got 3 experiments going on, and I have 3 students that are managing these experiments. Now, first off, for those of you that are wondering, yes, I am going to be working with some patented plant material. I have talked about that in the past. I have talked with those that are involved in the development of some of this plant material, and as long as it's for personal use and I'm not selling it, it's okay for me to work on these. So I have enlisted a couple of my students to help me with this experiment because being an instructor, really the whole point of teaching is to inspire youth to look at different things for a career. And in this case, we're looking at botany, really. So we're looking for students that are interested in doing botany. And the 3 experiments is, first one is we are doing a fertilizer test trial. So that is going to kick off next week, where we have several starts of Firefly petunias, so the glow-in-the-dark petunias. And we're going to feed them at different rates to see what rate is best for a Firefly petunia. And we're going to use standard Jack's Classic 2319. That's the commercial version that I purchased. I think 2622 is the one that you can buy in the cans from just like a garden center. But we're going to use what I've got, and we're going to test it at different rates and different frequencies on some of our cuttings. So these are our Firefly petunia cuttings right here. We're trying to stick with the ones that are all about the same size. They've all been fertilized up until this point. Those of you that have taken cuttings, you know that fireflies are difficult to propagate. So we're going to be using these, and we're going to conduct a true scientific test trial on fertilizer on the Firefly petunias. So with my 3 students, that is our nutrition experiment. So we're looking at plant nutrition, focusing really on micronutrients, making sure that we have everything that these plants need and that they're getting enough for that to work. So that's experiment number 1. Experiment number 2, let's skip to that one next. That one's down here. So this is an experiment where I am working with the students to help incorporate new and different colors into the Firefly petunia line. So what we're doing is, I can see that says, maybe you can see it, I can't because it's bright in here. It says F1 times blue. So I have some unpatented blue petunias where I have harvested the blossoms, and then we've come in and we've done some fertilizations here and cross-pollinated that with the Firefly. So blue with a Firefly. And those are, again, a generic blue unpatented petunia seed with the patented Firefly. But this one is special in that this is an F1 generation. So this is seed that was produced by my original Firefly petunia. And we're taking that and we're crossing it back with a blue petunia. And then from here, whatever offspring we get to grow that are colored, so they have a blue color, we'll cross them then back with the Firefly petunia again to see if we can maintain that color and increase the brightness. So this is the same idea here. Now this does have hints of pink in it, but this also has almost a more ruffly blossom texture to it. So this one is crossed with a light purple. So again, same deal. Let's see if we can find where they did their work here. Here's one of them right down here. So this is where they did their breeding work right there. So they were supposed to do a couple of blossoms, and we'll do a few more next week to make sure that they take. And then this one already has a hint of pink, but we don't know yet whether or not that hint of pink is due to genetics, or if that is due to fertilizer, or if that's due to lighting. But we are incorporating a pink into this one. So when you look, this one is an F1 with pink. So that part was really the experiment that got my three young ladies that are doing this project really excited. Is they were really excited to create their own flower. You know, cross-pollination happens a lot in nature. In nature, when we have different populations of different colors or shapes that are close to one another, and then you'll find those colors shift between one another. You can see that happen pretty easy if you get crocus. So you take like a white crocus and you put it next to a purple crocus, you get a lavender crocus in between, which is really kind of neat. So they were, of everything, that was probably what they said was most exciting, because that's plant breeding, and they thought that that was a pretty cool idea. Okay, experiment number, I guess there's 4 experiments. This one is also a breeding experiment. So each of my ladies has been using one of these as their breeding experiment. So we have an F1, and we're crossing it back with Firefly. So these all say F1 with Firefly. And if we come in here, there's where we've done that work right there. And you're going to see it in other spots here. So the idea with this is we're crossing our seedling back with the original to see if we can increase the brightness. So that is a pretty cool experiment. Oh, there's another one where they've been working there. Okay, and then let's go to the last experiment down here. This is really kind of my experiment, but it's going to tie in. These are cuttings that came from one of the petunias that I grew I grew some petunias from seed, and I had some volunteers that actually lived through very, very cold winter temperatures. So this one lived to temperatures down to, it was -4 is what it lived to. So these starts, we are going to be experimenting with temperature and cold response, and see if we can get these to be a sort of hardy petunia, which is really kind of surprising, because I never would have expected them to last that long, but that's definitely what we're doing here on that. So these are really kind of my project, but we will be using some of the pollen from this to cross with some of the other petunias. And then down here, this is our selection of other stock material. These are all F1 generation. So these are seeds off of the original Firefly. So I'll be taking those, and then we're going to be crossing in with some other colors to see if we can get more colors or a bigger blossom shape or something like that into the petunias. But yeah, so I brought my own personal plants here, and yes, these are going to remain my personal plants. The students don't get to take these home. That's kind of due to all the patent regulations. But I'll see what I can do to get some funds together to purchase some for them to take home and continue to do their work with those. But we're going to use this as our kind of our genetics experiment. It's really cool because they get to see, you know, not only colors change, but plants actually glow in the dark. But yeah, that's what it's all about, is having good experiments that shine really bright and really inspire the youth, and working with these Firefly petunias and creating new cultivars of them is definitely something that's up their alley. So anyway, I hope you learned something today. Ag Teacher Thoughts out.